Consider an intriguing paradox of our digital era: silence. We inhabit a world where nearly every aspect of life is broadcast, from celebrations and mundane routines to profound emotions like sorrow or joy, often embellished with filters. Despite this pervasive sharing, a segment of the population remains entirely unobserved. These individuals navigate online spaces with quiet observation, seldom contributing posts. Perhaps you recognize such a person, or perhaps you are one yourself. This inevitably raises a persistent question. What motivates a person to remain unseen when society seemingly clamors for constant visibility? It's tempting to conclude that non-posters are merely timid or reclusive. However, this perspective is incomplete. Beneath this surface lies a complex psychological dynamic, one that profoundly illustrates aspects of human nature, how we view ourselves, and a subtle defiance of a culture fixated on outward presentation. For many, this online quietude isn't a void. It signifies mastery. It represents the autonomy to decide what aspects of their lives remain private. Irrespective of our acknowledgement, social platforms have subtly redefined self-identity, favoring outward displays and amplifying clamor. Paradoxically, those who recede into the background often possess the keenest insight. They observe without interjection, contemplate before responding, and scrutinize prior to forming opinions. Researchers in psychology have uncovered an intriguing correlation. Individuals who infrequently share content tend to exhibit elevated levels of self-control, self-reflection, and emotional autonomy. They show reduced susceptibility to social comparisons and the need for external affirmation. Essentially, their focus isn't on demonstrating their identity, but on comprehending it, a remarkable trait in an environment saturated with curated performances. Frankly, much of our online activity transcends mere communication. It's an act of self-construction, an unspoken bid for acceptance. Each post, be it a caption, image, or status update, implicitly asks, "Does this represent me, and do you approve?" However, discontinuing this practice initiates a transformation. One starts to dissociate personal value from virtual accolades, moving beyond a caption-ready mindset. You reclaim the experience of moments for your own enjoyment, rather than curating them for an audience. This encapsulates the underlying psychological drive for many who opt out of posting. They seek genuine connection within a realm often perceived as artificial. It's not a rejection of social media itself, but a realization that they no longer resonate with its demands. This isn't anti-technology or anti-social behavior. Instead, it reflects a refusal to distill one's existence into mere highlight reels. Once the ease of manipulating public perception becomes clear, a greater appreciation emerges for qualities that defy online sharing: quietude, profundity, flaws, and authenticity. For certain individuals, this choice follows a period of emotional exhaustion. Perhaps they once shared everything until the act felt inauthentic. They recognized an unspoken pressure to constantly surpass their last shared, beautiful moment, transforming their lives into a series of performances rather than experiences. Consequently, they withdrew discreetly, not with a formal declaration, but a gradual fading from the digital landscape. A common misconception, however, is that this absence of posting signifies a lack of emotion. On the contrary, it frequently indicates an intense regard for the present moment, for profound meaning, and for safeguarding what they deem inviolable. Psychology offers the concept of psychological ownership, the deep conviction that something, a thought, memory, or experience, is uniquely yours. When such an item is posted, that feeling of personal possession subtly diminishes. The experience then transforms into communal property, susceptible to scrutiny, misconstrued meanings, or even ridicule. Therefore, those who abstain from posting frequently preserve their sense of proprietorship over their very lives, maintaining their moments as inviolable, personal, and untainted. This stance may not stem from melancholy or isolation, but from a serene form of liberation. Reflect on this. When was your last truly significant act that you didn't feel compelled to broadcast? When did you last experience profound joy, sorrow, or accomplishment without instantly contemplating an online share? This inherent impulse to publicize is not innate, it's a learned behavior. It's the outcome of years of likes, shares, and dopamine-driven reward cycles, conditioning our minds to equate self-worth with digital affirmation. For an individual to depart from this ingrained system can feel like an act of defiance, yet it is also deeply restorative. They begin to reclaim the simple pleasure of engaging in activities purely for personal fulfillment, preparing food without capturing it, exploring new places without digital check-ins, experiencing emotions without immediate verbalization. Within this deliberate space, a profound form of self-awareness blossoms, one that requires no external viewership. Nevertheless, not all who abstain from posting do so from a state of tranquility. Some are motivated by apprehension, the fear of critique, dismissal, or misinterpretation. Social media has exacerbated a subtle anxiety psychologists term self-presentational pressure, the pervasive feeling of being observed, even in isolation. For numerous individuals, this constant vigilance is mentally taxing. They harbor concerns that their expressions might be misinterpreted or, worse, overlooked. Consequently, they withdraw, not from a lack of desire for connection, but because the perceived cost of online exposure is too burdensome. They yearn for genuine recognition, not superficial acknowledgement. Ironically, often the most reticent online individuals possess the most vibrant inner monologues. They are not disconnected. Rather, they are brimming with thoughts, opting for serenity over ostentation. Their silence carries a profound philosophical resonance. In a society relentlessly demanding, "Look at me," choosing to remain unseen acts as a declaration of self-sovereignty, asserting, "My existence transcends your observation." While they may quietly observe others' lives, nodding, smiling, occasionally feeling pain, they seldom broadcast their own because they grasp a truth often missed by others. Not every personal experience is intended for public consumption. Indeed, life's most transformative moments, periods of personal development, sorrow, or profound change, unfold silently, without an audience or a post. After navigating a sufficient number of these private metamorphoses, one comes to understand that being unobserved is not synonymous with being unimportant. It's precisely in these private spaces that identity is forged rather than merely presented. Herein lies the paradox. Social media, intended to foster connection, frequently leaves individuals feeling more isolated. By refraining from posting, one ceases the pursuit of virtual proximity and begins to cultivate authentic relationships. You start discerning who genuinely reaches out without requiring constant updates and who remembers you without digital prompts. This form of connection, unfiltered and unpublicized, possesses a greater weight, warmth, and undeniable authenticity. Individuals who don't post inhabit this realm, fostering bonds that require no public validation. They discover solace in private moments, allowing life to unfold organically without transforming it into consumable content. This practice also contributes to a secure sense of self, understanding one's identity even when unobserved. When at ease with oneself, external validation becomes unnecessary. This isn't vanity, it's inner tranquility. Non-posters frequently possess the most compelling narratives. However, they reserve these stories for face-to-face interactions, not digital broadcasts. For them, authentic connection isn't quantifiable by comments or likes. It's found in shared quietude, direct eye contact, and unobserved laughter. These are individuals who harbor profound inner lives, engaging in deep reflection, constant observation, and silent comprehension. They have no need for global affirmation of their being. Their imperative is simply to live. Perhaps in a world so fixated on visibility, their quietude isn't a deficiency but a reflection, a reminder that not all profound experiences demand public disclosure, and that preserving something solely for oneself can be among the most fundamentally human acts. A striking observation is how perception shifts for those who disengage from social media over time. Hues appear more vibrant, moments seem to linger, and dialogues become more substantial. It's as though retreating from the digital din restores a sense of authenticity to existence. Discontinuing the act of performing allows for genuine experience. There's an understated elegance in navigating life without feeling the need to document every stride. One is freed from concerns about angles, illumination, or accompanying text, instead existing fully present within the moment rather than merely observing it from an external perspective. This level of immersion is something social media increasingly inhibits. The underlying psychological drivers extend beyond mere preference or inclination. Its foundation lies in the brain's mechanism for processing affirmation. Each instance of an online post receiving attention, likes, comments, or reactions, triggers the release of dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with reward and habit formation. Gradually, a craving for this validation develops, leading us to conceptualize experiences as shareable rather than genuinely felt. Now, consider an individual who actively resists this cycle, deliberately disengaging from the dopamine-driven feedback loop. This isn't apathy, it's a testament to self-discipline. Resisting a system meticulously crafted for engagement demands significant self-awareness. Non-posters frequently exhibit a robust internal locus of control, a psychological characteristic indicating that their sense of self-worth and contentment originates internally, independent of external affirmation. They require no virtual chorus confirming their adequacy. Furthermore, research indicates that individuals who take extended hiatuses from both posting and consuming social media content often report significant improvements in emotional equilibrium and overall life satisfaction. This occurs because, without constant external mirroring, one's sense of identity solidifies. It crystallizes into an authentic form. You cease curating your life into palatable segments, instead embracing its intricate, beautiful, and unedited entirety. Perhaps this constitutes the ultimate act of defiance, maintaining wholeness in a world that valorizes fragmentation. However, online quietude isn't always indicative of peace. At times, it masks weariness. Many initially sought connection on social media, only to find themselves depleted. A quiet emotional exhaustion arises from constantly observing others' curated highlights while navigating the unglamorous realities of one's own life. Inevitably, comparisons creep in, even unintentionally, leading to self-doubt despite knowing better. Ultimately, some individuals choose to withdraw, not from resentment, but from a need for self-preservation. They recognize that they are not obligated to perform for the world, nor do they owe explanations for their absence or feel compelled to incessantly prove their happiness to gain credence. This encapsulates a profound, unspoken truth of our era, the conflation of visibility with inherent worth. We mistakenly believe that significance necessitates being seen, yet true meaning requires no audience. Many of life's most impactful and formative experiences will occur in absolute privacy, devoid of cameras, accompanying text, or an audience witnessed only by you. Perhaps this is the insight most profoundly grasped by those who refrain from posting. They understand that privacy is not solitude, it is a form of self-intimacy. By ceasing the constant broadcast of every thought, one begins to rediscover their own internal voice, reconnecting with aspects of self that were obscured by the digital cacophony, private aspirations, unvoiced anxieties, and an internal moral compass. In the contemporary world, this represents something profoundly spiritual. This isn't a retreat, but a return to oneself. Naturally, this path isn't devoid of challenges. Moments of uncertainty may arise, prompting questions about whether silence renders one invisible, or if one is lagging behind others who showcase their progress. However, with the passage of time, a beautiful realization emerges. One's inherent value doesn't vanish simply because it's not being observed. It persists, unwavering, akin to the serene hum of a room once a tempest has passed. Perhaps this exemplifies genuine confidence, not a boisterous online self-proclamation, but a tranquil self-assurance in the offline world. A common sentiment questions the reality of an experience if it wasn't posted. Yet, the reality is, the most profoundly formative life events seldom appear in a social feed. Your personal evolution, your sorrows, your triumphs, and your discreet acts of benevolence reside in your memory, not in digital media. And perhaps that is sufficient. When discussing authentic self-expression, psychologists stress congruence, the harmony between one's inner self and their public persona. In an era dominated by filters, however, this alignment is perpetually compromised. One starts to inhabit a version of themselves meticulously curated for external validation. Therefore, an individual's decision to abstain from posting could represent their method of maintaining congruence, safeguarding the delicate authenticity between their internal and external realities. They don't require public witness to their emotions to affirm their validity, nor do they need to photograph every sunset to retain its feeling. Instead, they live their lives completely and discreetly. Here lies the irony. Those who live unobtrusively frequently experience life with the greatest intensity. Unburdened by the obligation to perform, they perceive nuances others overlook, the subtle shift of light on a surface, the brief hesitation before a remark, the faint echo of laughter. They embody presence, a quality that is exceedingly scarce in a world driven by the pursuit of attention. However, this very presence can lead to misinterpretation. People may perceive them as aloof, enigmatic, or even unfeeling. Upon closer examination, though, their quietude is not a void. It signifies profound depth. It reflects the tranquility derived from no longer needing to articulate oneself to be comprehended. A serene confidence emerges from not requiring universal recognition, but rather genuine understanding from a select few. This is precisely what those who don't post grasp most clearly. They recognize that not every personal truth is destined for public consumption, and that certain aspects of oneself warrant protection from algorithms and external opinions. For once something enters the public domain, its pure ownership ceases. It becomes subject to interpretation, judgment, and prevailing trends. Perhaps some experiences are simply too sacred to be subjected to such forces. Therefore, the next time you encounter an individual who never posts, resist the assumption that they are concealing something. They might simply be living authentically. They may have discovered serenity in the unassuming facets of life, those untouched by the blue luminescence of a digital display. It's possible they've recalled a fundamental truth the rest of us have overlooked, that an unseen existence does not equate to solitude, that quietness does not imply emptiness, and that at times, the most genuine manifestation of self is silence. Ultimately, our purpose is not to be performers, but simply to be human. And those who choose not to post serve as a constant reminder of this profound reality through their quiet, authentic, and beautifully unseen lives.